السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على رسول الله وبعد. Today is the first day of Ramadan, the first night of the month of Ramadan. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا لحسن إكماله صياما وقياما وصلاة وذكرا ودعاء. Dear brothers and sisters, it's a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon every one of us who's still alive to attend and witness this month of Ramadan. Thousands and thousands of people, they just passed away before the month started. So for those who are still alive, healthy, make sure to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for every moment that you are breathing on the earth, for every moment that you're remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth, for every moment that you could pray and fast, even a day of the month of Ramadan. And for those who got sick, be patient. إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب. Be patient. Those patient people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward them unlimited. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يشفي مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين ومرضى الناس جميعا. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all believers, all people who got sick under this situation of Corona within these days. Within this season of Corona season. So make sure to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for every moment and be patient on what you are facing, the dilemma, the difficulties before just the month started for those who are already sick. We need to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the first thing. And the first lesson for tonight is how to make every action of our deeds, of our actions, if every single action for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This first reflection is about al-ikhlas wa niyyah, means sincerity and intention and pure intention. Intention is the most powerful act of worship. That's the beginning, that's the prerequisite for every action that you do. You have to set your pure intention. And intention is so powerful for your actions to be done and for your actions as well to be accepted and rewarded. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. So the first and the most important action that you were asked to do, commandment that you were asked to apply, is to do your deeds sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال العلماء, the scholars, they said, al-ikhlas is a secret between Allah and his servant. So no angel knew about it. No angel knows about it, so he will write it. He can't, because it's secret between Allah and you. And no shaitan will know about it, he will ruin it. And no desire or hawa of the person know about it, so he will shift it away from the straight path or from the mainstream goal. Al-ikhlas is to intend whatever you do is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of God. Li wajhillah. It's not for your fame, not for a position to have, not for money to gain, not any fame or gain. That's al-ikhlas, just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for him. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم وأموالكم. Allah doesn't look at your shape, your face, your body, or your wealth, or your money. ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم وأعمالكم. رواه مسلم. Allah looks at your hearts and at your acts. رواه الإمام مسلم. So those are the most important. It starts from the heart. That's how our actions will be a reflection of whatever we have within us. If we are sincere, your actions will tell you are sincere in what you are doing. الفضيل بن عياض رضي الله عنه ورحمه يقول في قوله تعالى ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا في سورة الملك. He said, in the meaning of what he reflected about in this specific ayah in Surah Al-Mulk, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. In the beginning, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created death and life. For what reason? What's the main purpose of being alive on in this world? ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. So he will test you who is going to be a good doer, a person with a perfect actions who want to do the highest level of perfection in his work, in his ibadah, in his worship, in his morals, in his relationship, in everything in his life. ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. What he said فضيل بن عياض قال هو أخلصه وأصوبه means العمل الحسن أو العمل الأحسن, the best act, the best work, the best deed. قال أخلصه وأصوبه means the sincere and the right act, means has to be, this act has to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so make sure these days, whatever you do, and every time, make sure to look at your heart. What I'm doing is for Allah. Even nobody looks at me, nobody knows about what I'm doing. I'm going to do it the perfect way. And also, aswabu, it means to be right and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قالوا يا أبا علي, what does mean أخلصه وأصوبه? ما معنى أخلصه وأصوبه؟ قال رحمه الله, he said إن العمل إذا كان خالصا ولم يكن صوابا لم يقبل وإذا كان صوابا ولم يكن مخلصا فيه لم يقبل. العمل, any act that you do, any action that we do in this life, if it's right, straight right, but it's not since for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, won't be accepted. Even if you have sincerity is so great and your action is wrong, not in the wrong way, you hit the wrong direction and you keep moving, your actions won't be accepted. قال فالخالص أن يكون لله والصواب أن يكون على سنة رسول الله. Al-Khalis, to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa as-sawab, to follow the steps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the role model for every believer. قال سبحانه وتعالى لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the role model for every one of us. One of the stories, Al-Imam al-Mawardi rahimahullah, a lot of stories about al-ikhlas and sincerity. Al-Imam al-Mawardi, one of the great scholars, he had a lot of books in Islam, al-Ahkam al-Sultaniyya, in fiqh and different courses of fiqh of Islam. When he died, he wrote a lot of books. قال المؤرخون, they said, he kept his book without, I mean, being known that he wrote all of these books. At the time of death, he got one of his best students and he told him, come and hold my hands. So if when I'm suffering from death, if I release my hand, if I hold on your hand and squeeze it, means my deeds were not be accepted. Allah didn't accept my deeds. So don't distribute or bring out my book to the public. Just burn them, or just put them in a grave, make a grave and just dump them there. But if I spread my hand, means my deeds were accepted, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted from me my intention. So all of these, he said, أنه قبل مني نيتي. So the intention is the most important. And they said when his student just, he was holding his hand, and Mawardi released his hand, and he realized, mashallah, and he smiled at the time of death, means he was okay. So the student just opened his library, the books that he wrote, and he made them in public and he published them. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا في هذه الليلة، أول ليلة من رمضان، أن يوفقنا لحسن الإيمان به والتوكل عليه، لحسن صيامه وقيامه، وحسن الصداقات وحسن الخلق وحسن العلاقة. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us in the beginning of the month of Ramadan, give us strength and power and sincerity to do the best in this month of Ramadan, despite the circumstances that we have. I'm sure it's not easy. It's not easy for me, for everybody, basically, but especially for those who are suffering from the sickness, from the problem, from financial issues. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يخفف عنا وعن الأمة جميعا وعن الإنسانية. It's the month of dua, the month of dhikr. Make sure to make a lot of dhikr, a lot of dua, and to set your goals. What do you want to achieve? What do you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you? Just ask. ادعوا الله وأنت موقن بالإجابة. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا لحسن الإيمان به والتوكل عليه، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.